What's going on, guys? Welcome back to this channel. It's all about architecture, engineering, and construction. And we are also, like I always say, all about bettering the African narrative. In this video, we are going to be reviewing a 4-bedroom house that we completed designing, and the construction is already going on. And just to let you know, this project is specifically being built so it can actually be sold. Okay. Then also, this video, because it's likely to be a very long video, we are going to split it into 2 parts. First, we are going to take you through the design of the project. We are going to take you in so much detail so that you're able to see every consideration that we made and why we did it, based of course on the constraints that actually are there on the site. Okay, and also how we best utilize the space that was actually there. And then in the second episode of the video, because the video might actually be long, we actually split it into 2 bits. So the first episode is going to be about the design, and the second episode is actually going to be about the actual construction on site. Okay, so please, I would advise that you stick around so that you don't miss out on any detail. Yeah, and then also this project is being built so it can actually be sold by our client. So if you're interested in the project, you can just reach out to us through our details in the description below, so that you can reach out to us and then we see how to go forward from there. And besides that, I think we're not going to waste too much time, so we're going to head right into the video of the design.
So I'm just going to take you through the floor plan of how this house is actually moving. Just to let you know, this building, this house specifically, is being built for sale specifically. So our client, who has actually been our client before, gave us another project and is building this house specifically for sale. So even as we talk, this house is actually up for sale. We are going to build the shell, and after the shell, we can actually have it handed over to the client, whoever will buy it. Okay. So looking at that, the reason why it's being built as a shell is so that the client can have also more liberty to decide what they want their house to look like, the kind of tiles they want to have. So basically, after the shell, everything is left to whoever buys the house to decide on what exactly is going to be installed in the house. But I'm just going to walk you through the floor plan so that you can just have a feel of it. So let me just make a cut through. As you can see, this is literally like an entry foyer, and it also borders 2 balconies. One that is a balcony for the living room, and the other being a balcony for one of the guest bedrooms downstairs. Now here you can see that we have an entry foyer which can be used as a gallery for putting pictures and things like that, or probably something like a shoe rack. However, there is a wall here that separates this foyer from the living room, and the TV is literally supposed or was designed to be on this wall. The reason why it was designed to be on this wall is so that we can use the rest of the walls for windows that are going to provide enough lighting into the house and enough aeration. At least those of you who have been in Uganda lately, you know how hot these days can be. So whichever opportunity you have to take to bring more air and light into the house, the better it is for you. But of course, there is also still a bit of discussion. When we go to the site, we are going to first discuss this project specifically on the plan in the software, and then after, we're going to go to the site and show you exactly how it's being implemented on the ground. There is still a discussion on whether we need this wall or not, because someone might argue that I want this wall off so I can use all this space for my living room. However, in designing it, it has been designed in such a way that this wall is not a structural element, so it can literally be removed, and all this can be expandable space, all to be shared by the living room. But we are putting it now just for purposes of that, okay, of having the TV on that wall. If you're able to look at the 3D, the impressions, you should be able to understand what I'm trying to talk about. So the living room is in open plan with the dining space. As you can see, the dining is right there. And then we have just a small kitchen. Can we call it a kitchen? Let's call it a kitchen bar. Okay? And then the kitchen also has a small island and has everything that needs to be in the kitchen. One of the things that I have really loved about this design while we are doing it is that we provided ample, really ample lighting into all these areas, as you can see. Then you might be wondering, what are these small things? These small things are actually ducts that are going to be taking water, that are going to be taking, the sewage the water from the toilets and the plumbing works and all that from the upper floor. So when we get to the upper floor, this will make more sense to you, okay? So as usual, the kitchen sink is at the window for reasons we've explained before. It's not compulsory that the sink should be at the window, but this one usually is for purposes of plumbing, so that for purposes of ease of plumbing, so that the water that brings water into the sink and that takes water out of the sink can easily be transmitted all the way straight to the manhole and then into the sock pit. But that can be discussed later. I think we'll discuss that in another video, okay? Then we have stairs here that go up. I'm going to discuss with the details of these staircases and why we chose them to be like this, just in a few. But let's first talk about this small corridor that leads you into this guest bedroom that is facing the front and also has a balcony, as you can see. And also it is self-contained, which means it has access to its own bathroom and shower and all that, okay? Of course, it's a shower room. There's no bath, really. There is a shower cabin, there is a wash hand basin, and then there is a toilet. Quite spacious. Then we have this other toilet that is for guests that not necessarily are going to be sleeping around, okay? For example, you have like daytime guests that come around into the house and they want to use the loos, or they want to use the washrooms, they can always use this, okay? Then also remember, this house is actually a 4.5 bedroom house. What I mean 4.5 means that there are 4 complete bedrooms, and then the 5th bedroom is usually considered to be like half a bedroom. That is the maid's room. It's not as big, but in this scenario it is actually self-contained, so the maid stays within the house. Of course, there's a provision of putting the access of the maid's room on the outside of the house, but in this scenario we decided to put it on the inside, but it's also self-contained and it's right under the stairs. Now, talking about under the stairs, that is what I'm going to come to right now. I want you to notice that let me just extend this line briefly so I can maybe make my point a bit clearer when it comes to the staircase, okay? I hope this can make sense to you when I explain it in this manner. If you look at the staircase, which is here, you notice that the first run of the staircase, which is this one, is actually much longer. It has more steps than the second run of the staircase. This one has literally just about 15 steps, while this one has only 5 steps. Now, we usually do that in scenarios where we want to make better use of the space that is under the staircases. So if you are to look very carefully, just outside of the house, and when you come out of the porch that is outside, that is at the back of the house, as you can see, there is this little room which is actually going to act as a laundry. Now, the reason why we have more stairs on the first run is so that we can have this headroom, so that someone can easily be able to enter into the laundry and do whatever they want to do. That is also the same as this other room that I just showed you, that is actually, let me just zoom out so you can see properly. This second room, which is actually a bathroom for the maid, like I showed you already in the other part of the video when the cut was still down, okay? The cutting line, I mean. So if you look carefully, you notice that with that, we actually get more functionality of the space that is actually under the staircase and it's not being wasted. So when you go upstairs, of course, this is a raw video. We don't have the rails here running all the way through like this. But when you go into this corridor, you have a master's bedroom here, which is really spacious enough. It would have been equal to the guest bedroom downstairs, but this one was expanded by this other space that we added. If you're to look at this cantilever down here, we added that space so that we can make the master bedroom much bigger, okay? So you can literally install a 6x6 bed and still remain with over 2 meters on one side and 2 meters on the other side, okay? Which is really spacious enough. And then you have your way into all this walk-in closet where you can walk all through. And then you have a window still on the walk-in closet that brings light into the walk-in closet, and then you can proceed to the bathroom or to the shower room, which is big enough to hold a bathtub, to hold a twin wash hand basin, to hold a shower cabin, and also to hold this very one that you're seeing, the toilet seater. Okay, then we also have 2 other bedrooms upstairs which are actually self-contained. You have this one and this one, and both of them are self-contained with bathrooms that have literally everything that you need in a bathroom. Okay. Then also, when you walk through this corridor, you have this door that is bringing the light all the way into this corridor, as well as the light that comes from this window that is at the staircases. When you go to the ground on site, you should be able to see that clearly. So we have also this small play area. We have not yet really established what this room is going to be. It could be a play area that is expandable by just opening this large sliding door to be shared together with the balcony, or it could actually just be an office or a reading area that is open to the balcony at the front. We would have added more balconies on the side and all that, but as you can see, we are really so much constrained by space, and this is the best way that this space can actually be used. So looking at the whole overview, I also want you to look at this detail, which I think is of the eave. I want you to look at this eave carefully. Now, there are very many ways of how this eave can actually be achieved. Though this eave, you might look at it as something simple, it's actually usually quite expensive to implement on ground, because in most of the cases we actually have to cast it. We have to cast it with iron bars and all that, and the ring wires and the cement and concrete and things like that for it to come out exactly the way you see it. But also there are other ways in which you can use timber formwork to actually bring it out for someone to be able to look at it from the outside and still look at it as beautiful, which you're also going to see when we get onto the site. So I think that is basically what it is. Also remember that this house specifically is on sale, and it's located in Chirabulindo. Yes, so if you are interested, you could just contact our company. You might not necessarily talk to me, but you talk with one of our managers or with one of our administrators, and they should be able to guide you through the process of buying this house, having this house as your dream house. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. We are now going to just go right onto the site so you can be able to see everything as it has been implemented based on this design. Okay.